Listen up, friends. The price may be high, but we offer one price to our own. Everyone was stunned. Oh, okay. I explained patiently that Zhang Changlin's medicine doesn't kill. The old lady's issue was from something else. But Huang Mao said Zhang Changlin, selling fake drugs, would harm people and end up in jail. I replied, don't you know the sentence for selling fake meds? You're sending patients to fakers. So what if I push them to him? This medicine might be a bit pricey, but it's way cheaper than 40,000 bucks. So many people can't even afford 5,000 bucks. It makes me teary-eyed. I'm just a snake oil salesman. How can I save everyone? I'm just struggling to sell my oils, and here comes Zhang Yuanquan giving me a hard time. Besides, I risked my life to bring back those medicines. You all owe it to me. Huang Mao raised a glass to me, then smashed it into a million pieces. What a racket. But what can I do? I'm no Superman. I'm just a regular chap who can barely save myself. Zhang Changlin's threats weighed me down like a boulder, and my father's medical bills felt like a bottomless pit swallowing all my efforts. My son's future was shrouded in fog. I couldn't even dare to gamble a second. I saw Pastor Lu leave, and Lu Xiaoyi was staring at me like a hawk. His eyes lacked hate, filled only with despair, like a little deer trapped in a hunter's snare. He knew escape was impossible, yet hoped for a miracle. I became the one snuffing it out. At lost, Lu Xiaoyi kept looking back at me as he left, but I couldn't meet his gaze. I feared that one more look would break my heart. I silently watched him leave the snake oil shop. A year later, with the money from selling the rights, I opened a textile factory. Running a textile factory had no risks, and the profits were several times better than selling medicine. I thought selling the rights to Zhang Changlin was a smart, but those who depended on textile medicine for survival weren't faring so well. One day, I was touring the factory with a big box. As I was leaving, I met Lu Xiaoyi's wife, who said Zhang Changlin raised medicine prices excessively. Someone reported him, and now he's on the run. People can't get the textile medicine, and Lu Xiaoyi's condition worsened due to the lack of drugs. He almost committed suicide, and although he was rescued, my heart sank upon hearing this. At home, the sight of Zhang Changlin's wound made me realize I'd pushed patients into despair. The next day, I rushed to the hospital to see Lu Xiaoyi. He looked so pale, completely different from before. Seeing me, he forced out a weak smile, which made me feel strangely alive. You've got guts to think about suicide. Have an orange. How did you end up like this? As the doctor cleaned his wounds, his screams stabbed at my heart like knives, and Lu Xiaoyi's eyes had gone numb. He's clearly used to the pain. For me, first hearing, unbearable a real hell. Those cries were not the sound of a human, it was the mournful wail of a beast trapped in a cage, the desperate scream forced from the depths of his throat. I remembered the first time I saw him. When he took off his mask, his eyes sparkled with a thirst for life. But now, he was struggling with pain, while I was living through the torment of my conscience. We were both prisoners of fate. We were like ants crushed by fate. The difference was that his pain was visible on his body, while mine etched deep into my soul. Next day, I sought out Pastor Lu, hoping he'd help me connect with the drug factory for another batch, but I got a firm no. The factory halted supplies to China. I was left with no choice but to fly to India myself. Just as I prepared to leave, Lu Xiaoyi's condition worsened, meds failed, leaving only bone marrow transplant as an option. Surgery costs were sky high, with a low success rate, but Lu Xiaoyi's wife still wanted to gamble a bit. Not wanting his wife to shoulder any debt, Lu Xiaoyi ultimately chose to commit suicide. When I learned this, I rushed back to his home to give his wife some, but she refused. I came out, saw the hallway covered in sick oils, everyone masked. Quietly, they bid Lu Xiaoyi farewell, with no hate but helplessness. His today may be theirs tomorrow. As I weaved through the crowd, I spotted Huang Mao sitting on the steps, munching on oranges while shedding tears. I knew he loved oranges, and how hard he fought to stay alive, yet in the end, he couldn't make it. Lu Xiaoyi's death filled my heart with guilt. I resolved to make amends for my mistakes and set off on another journey to India. I wanted to reclaim the rights from the factory owner, but the factory was in trouble, being sued by a Swiss company. On the verge of halting production, only existing stocks available. I just want the medicine to save patients. Back home, I gathered all who sold drugs before and told them we'd start selling again next week. But I could only guarantee that the previous patients would get their medicine. Everyone should keep it hush-hush. Show some mercy. I don't want jail. How much this time? 500. Soon, counterfeit drugs circulated again, and the police intensified their searches, starting to capture Zhang Changlin. They also detained patients who bought counterfeit drugs, trying to get them to provide clues, but the patients chose silence. They knew without the medicine, they'd be done for, and they understood that I genuinely wanted to help them. I'm begging you, please don't trace this poison anymore, okay? That legit medicine costing 40,000 a bottle is truly deadly. I've crushed my family under debt. Now that there's at least some cheap medicine, can't we just take it easy?